Thanks for watching Talking Law TV. We feature the area's leading local attorneys, recent court rulings, and laws that can affect your daily lives. That's why we say legal news you can use. Coming soon, Talking Law TV's producers will be bringing another news magazine program to WSAV. For Your Health TV, a news magazine show featuring the Coastal Empire's leading health and wellness professionals. For more info about the show, visit the website at foryourhealthtv.com. And thanks for watching.
Have a legal issue? Visit TalkingLawTV.com and leave your question. It may be used on the show.
And welcome back for segment 2 of Talking Law TV. We're here with Gene Brooks. Hi, Gene.
Hey, Michael.
And you're going to talk to us about auto insurance.
Yep. Kind of a boring subject, but one that applies to everybody.
Okay. Well, most of us are familiar with it from buying it. And how many different kinds can one buy?
Well, let me just start the program, or my section anyway, by telling everybody to buy coverage and to make the election to stack that coverage. All right, and I'm going to get more into that. But now that I've gotten that out, I'll explain why.
Okay, well, first of all, what's UM?
UM is underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage. Okay. That usually comes with a policy. A policy you'll have will be liability coverage, which is what most people focus on when they buy coverage. And that is if they're in a wreck and they've caused the wreck. That's liability coverage, and you can buy it in various increments. The minimum coverage is $25,000. It goes up to $50 and then $100. And the cost of that will depend a lot on your driving record. And every insurance company will have different rates. You see them in the Geico has one rate, Allstate has another, State Farm another, and they're all competitive for that insurance. But every policy is different, and that's where the devil's in the details, so to speak, because in those contracts that they're selling, they cover different things and in different amounts. So outside of liability coverage, in addition to liability coverage, you would have MedPay. MedPay would apply to any coverage you would want if you were injured in your car, regardless of who was at fault. So it's kind of a no-fault coverage, and typically you can get it up to $5,000.
And that's for your own injuries.
That's for your own injuries, okay. Regardless of who was at fault. It's sort of a no-fault policy. Another type of insurance you have is comprehensive. Now, comprehensive is property damage. So if your car is injured, and your car is damaged, then of course you can take it and get it fixed. Now you also have property damage for another vehicle, and that'd be in the liability coverage if another property is injured. And there are different rights that would apply to you and different duties that apply to the insurance company depending on whether whether they're covering a policy for you as the owner of that particular policy or as a third person who has been injured in a policy. There are different contractual rights that apply in those situations. And then the fourth one I want to, it brings us back around to what we talked about initially here, and that is the uninsured motorist coverage. And the reason that is so important is because there are a lot of uninsured or underinsured drivers on the roads. And you got illegals on the roads. You got people who've let their policy lapse because they've lost their jobs. They're not supposed to be driving, but they do. The state law says everybody who's driving has to have coverage.
Well, I've read that in the state of Georgia, it's estimated that a third of all drivers have no insurance.
I think that's accurate. And so to protect you, so basically the uninsured motorist coverage is you're insuring yourself in the event that you are hit and injured by somebody who is uninsured. So you're insuring against uninsurance.
Okay. And then what I see missing on the list is collision. Now, most people, when you see the agent, you want comprehensive in collision. Collision is just when you have an accident by yourself?
Well, that would include that, yeah.
Okay.
It would include that. And one thing I want to talk about, the property damage cases are interesting in that the insurance companies can sometimes cut corners on the repairs of the car. There are procedures in place that are recognized. I think there are 3 sets of procedures that are in place that the body shops are supposed to follow. and the insurance is supposed to cover those. But sometimes those corners get cut, and if somebody is injured in a car wreck, they need to make sure that if their car has been fixed previously by a body shop, that it followed those procedures. Sometimes the body shops will shortcut those procedures simply because the adjuster they're working with doesn't want to pay for the full cost of the time it's going to take to do those repairs.
Can you insist on original parts from the manufacturer?
Well, you can insist that the insurance contract be complied with, and that if those procedures call for original parts or for manufacturer's parts, yeah, those need to be put in. And another thing, if somebody buys, or say they're going to try to use secondary parts from secondary source or from a junkyard or something, lots of times those parts won't fit, or they're already have a problem. And so you need to be really careful, or you need to pay attention to whether those bad products are being put in the car. And I mean, we have some situations where, for instance, the pillars were cut instead of being fully replaced. And if that happens and the car flips, then that car is not safe. Somebody could get badly hurt because the roof is not as strong as it should be.
Okay. And what's umbrella coverage?
Umbrella coverage, that's a great question. In the event, let's say, that someone in your family or you cause a car wreck, and let's say you only have, let's say you have coverage, liability coverage of up to $100,000, but the person's medical bills are going to be more than that. Umbrella coverage covers all that. Now, umbrella coverage may cover other things too. Umbrella is supposed to cover all your insurance policies, and it's very reasonable because very few claims reach to that greater level. But for instance, it may cover you also for homeowners insurance. Let's say you've left a hole in your yard, you knew it was there was a guest over, they fell in the hole, and their medical expenses are quite high. And umbrella coverage would cover that too.
Just depends on the guest. You might just fill it in.
That's right.
How do you know if you have good insurance or if you need to get better?
Well, I think the best thing is to probably confer with an independent agent and have the agent, independent insurance agent, explain the different policies, because whatever you buy, the courts are going to assume that you read the policy and that you know everything in there and that you've agreed to it. So if the policies from different insurance companies can be compared and you can understand that this one has MedPay, this one has UM, this one doesn't have UM coverage, this one has limitations as to who in your family is going to cover, this one has broader coverage, you can make more of an educated decision by being more educated through an independent agent.
Is it the same from state to state? If I moved here and I had insurance in another state, do I need to get new insurance in Georgia?
No, but the state in which you bought the insurance, where the contract was formed, that state law would apply to the contract.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gene. If you have questions about auto insurance, you can contact Gene through our website at talkinglawtv.com, or call and leave a message at our toll-free number at 888-203-7LAW. That's 529. And we'll be back with Ron Roberts from the Rape Crisis Center right after this. Please keep watching.